welcome to this special segment in CNBC TV 18. French company Thales has been in India for the past 60 years and has participated in some of the biggest infrastructure and defense projects in India. The company now plans to upscale its presence in the country, and to talk to us about the India strategy, we are now being joined by the Executive Senior Vice President of Thales, Pascale Sourisse. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Let's start by talking about the Rafale deal. The Rafale consortium has Thales as an important partner, and as a part of this arrangement that was being worked out, 50% of the Rafale deal, the equal amount of value, was to be supposed to be sourced from India. Give us a sense of the offset deals that were supposed to be worked out, and when do you see those contracts being signed in India?
Well, first of all, we were very honored to have been selected for the Rafale deal together with our partners, Dassault and Safran. So Thales, in the Rafale program, will be focusing on all the electronic and communication systems on board the aircraft. And obviously, as you said, the objective is to involve Indian industry very much. We have an offset arrangement that is part of the program. And to be able to actually deliver this offset arrangement, we plan to work with a number of Indian companies, obviously. As you are going to understand, since we have been present in this country for more than 60 years, we have obviously already put in place relations with a number of Indian companies, and we also plan to involve additional ones. We are certainly going to invest a lot in this country. In fact, this Rafale program is really an opportunity for us to strengthen our presence in India in various forms. The Thales presence itself, but also the relationship we have with a number of Indian companies. We already have joint ventures. We plan to grow these joint ventures, involving many more Indian employees, and we also plan to establish new joint ventures to complete our offset commitments.
Right. I'll get you more on these very important points that we have made. Can you tell us by when do we see first of these contracts, maybe between you or with Dassault or Safran, getting signed? And is there also a time period within which these offset obligations will have to be completed? Because as far as Thales is concerned, for example, around 1/4 of the value of the Rafale aircraft, that's the kind of contribution that Thales makes, right? So give us a sense of the kind of timelines that we are seeing here in terms of the contracts on offset.
Well, the contract has started already. So we are working on it, of course, and in fact we expect to sign our first agreements with Indian companies very soon. It has to happen quickly. In fact, as you understand, for this Rafale contract, the objective is to supply these aircraft with a short time frame, and we're already working together with our partners, in particular the prime contractor, Dassault, to deliver on the program. But since we're not discovering India, so we feel very confident that we can start putting in place the relationship with our partners in India to work on these offset obligations as soon as next year. I'm sure we will see certain elements also already coming up as soon as next year.
You have joint ventures, and I'm talking about Thales with Bharat Electronics Limited. You have one more joint venture with Samtel, and then the third one with L&T Technologies. Give us a sense of how you plan to leverage these joint ventures for the offset contracts on Rafale.
Well, we will obviously use the various relations we have. So these three joint ventures you mentioned are working in different domains. The joint venture with Bharat Electronics Limited is working in the field of radars. So we will continue to grow the business for this joint venture in the radar field, but more generally speaking, maybe on technologies that are of a similar nature. All the electronic equipment, what we call radio frequency equipment, that use competencies that BL already has and that we can really develop through our joint venture. So we'll be focusing on those kinds of equipment with them. Concerning Samtel, the joint venture with Samtel is already focusing on avionics and optronic solutions. Avionics means the electronic onboard
the nervous system of the aircraft.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. Right. So obviously the intention is to continue to develop the activities of this joint venture in the same domains. And concerning Larsen & Toubro, the joint venture we already have with them is focusing on software. So certainly, well, there are huge opportunities for software development, so we'll plan to do this. In addition, we certainly plan to develop relations with other players. Reliance is one. We're already discussing with them on several domains, which are part of the Thales perimeter of competencies. And we certainly would consider it as very likely to also put in place additional relations with even other companies.
So these will be basically part of the offset obligations for the Rafale aircraft. Reliance, because they have also signed a contract with the consortium, if I'm correct.
Reliance has announced that they were creating a joint venture with Dassault.
Dassault, yes.
So obviously Reliance is an important player in this project, and we have lots of discussions involving Dassault, Reliance, Thales, so yes, of course.
So which means that perhaps we will see more joint ventures that Thales will announce with Indian partners in the coming months?
Yes, you can expect us to announce new developments in our partnerships in India, certainly.
Right.
And we will. Thales actually has been serving all the Indian armed forces for quite some time, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and we plan to continue to do this. And maybe some point I would like to emphasize the approach, the strategy of Thales in India is really to localize a lot of competencies. We completely understand and support the Make in India policy. We believe it's the really right approach for the economic development of the country. We're fully supportive of that, and we will continue to deploy and develop new projects with Indian partners corresponding to our full area of competencies. Thales should not be perceived only as a defense company. Of course, we operate a lot in the field of defense. Basically, defense represents half of the Thales revenues. All the rest is in the civil sector, aeronautics, satellites, security, ground transportation, air traffic control. All these areas are areas that are important in India. India has needs in all these sectors, so we plan to be very supportive of all the Indian developments, and we will localize a lot of activities.
I'll come to that in a short while, but you know, one very important point that you're making is regarding localization. Do you think then that given the fact that we have had one of the biggest defense deals with the Rafale, will there be sort of transfer of technologies as well as one goes forward, because you'll be tying up with several companies, not only you, Dassault, Safran, everyone will be tying up with Indian companies. So do you think the transfer of technologies in the defense space also happening because of the Rafale deal?
Yes, absolutely. This is the approach. When we say we establish a partnership with Indian companies, this involves technology transfers. Technology transfers to teams that are based in India. And one very important element is that we want to use the offset arrangement with the Rafale contract to build sustainable industrial capabilities in India. This means that we want the joint ventures we will create to be extremely competitive and be able to play a role in Indian programs, of course, but also be able to be competitive and win projects outside of India. We're not...
these joint ventures will not be limited to the Rafale?
No. Joint ventures, we don't expect our joint ventures to be limited to working on the Rafale project. We expect them to work on many projects, and actually not only in the Indian context, but also be able to win projects outside of India.